excuse me, I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 203K in a Box FHA Consultant Training and Marketing System Power Team Achievers call for June 2014. This is your host and the creator of the 203K in a Box system, Catherine Hall, welcoming you on the call tonight. I want to thank you all so much for being on the call. It's a minute before 9 p.m. and we are already starting the recording. And what I want to do is I want to immediately go over to some information I want to share with you all. On the Power Team site, starting in July, we're going to be having our early registration, and you're going to see a link on the homepage for you all to register for our upcoming event, which will be in December 2014. We're doing a 203K Data Discovery 2.0, and it's the advanced course, and we're going to be doing that in Tampa, Florida. And with us, we have on the call tonight my new manager, operations manager, and she's on the call tonight. I'm going to unmute her so she can say hello. Her name is Samantha Ross. Samantha, you want to say hello to everyone?
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Samantha is, as many of you will find out, in Tampa. She's my daughter. She moved to Tampa just last month, and she moved to Tampa just last month, and she loves it there. So she's because I wanted to be able to take advantage of seeing her new home and also have a Data Discovery 2.0 here on the East Coast. We haven't had one over here. We've had several in Texas and in Colorado. So we're going to come to Tampa in wintertime. So everybody, I've got a lot of people that are very interested in this event that's going to be held. It will be a NAFAC event, and it's going to be the 203K Data Discovery 2.0 class. Additionally, if you're looking at your screen, you will see the new Genesis Rehab Project Creator logo. And I would love for you guys to give me your feedback. I posted this on the Facebook page for 203K in a Box, and I got a couple comments. So for those of you who this is the first time seeing this, I'd love you to type in the chat box or raise your hand and tell me what you think about it. We tried to stay with our color scheme of red, white, and blue, obviously. And, we wanted to try to put in the rehab, the housing idea. So I would love to hear what your input is about our new logo. So if you'd like to just put that on there, we definitely would be interested. I'd like to know what your feedback is. So let's see. We've got a couple people. Love the Genesis name. It inspires hope. Thank you. And let's see, who else? Timothy Gerd says it looks good. John likes it. Ricky Vernon, fantastic. And I don't know what if you guys are aware of this, but let me show you. It keeps the theme of what we're doing. Yeah, I do too. I like the idea that it's hopeful. It's cutting edge. And it also basically gives us the whole opportunity. It doesn't just say 203K. As we expand other things that we can do, it can actually expand other things we can do with this program. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. And if you all have your selves on self-mute, then I'll be able to unmute you all. Okay. And so I'm going to unmute you guys all so we can have an open call tonight. And so unless I hear a whole lot of background noise, Ricky Vernon. Okay, Ricky's trying to fix it. Okay. All right, so I'm unmuting everybody, and if you could self-mute to eliminate your background noise. Okay. So please oops, I had to mute everybody because I couldn't figure out who was having that background noise. Let me show you how I did that, because you need to understand, in case you were not familiar with it, you can get incredible stuff done literally for $5 or slightly more. That logo was created by a graphic designer that I give all my jobs to. I don't want to try to pronounce his name, Vera Popova. I'm not going to try to even pronounce that, but that is the person. I don't know if it's a he or she, so I'm going to say they. They've done all my logo work. They actually did the book covers for my book, Seven Things to Know Before Hiring a Home Inspector, Major Purchase, Major Decision. They created the book cover for Major Purchase. They created the book cover for Insights of a Successful 203K Consultant. They created the book cover for my new book, Hard Hats and High Heels, and Success Guide for Women in Male-Dominated Industries. They created the logo for NAFAC, and they created this logo. So as you can see, I paid $45. Now, I don't know how many of you have worked with graphic designers, but you can pay upwards of $100 to $200 for a graphic logo. And I gave him a sample of what I wanted it to look like. I gave him, as you can see, wrote some things down. I said I wanted to say in the color scheme, you know, I like the logo on the website to have a red, white, blue look to it. So if you can make the logo follow that theme. I sent him JPEGs of what the 203K and the NAFAC logos look like. So I wanted him to give me a banner that had all three on it so it can appear on the website. And there you can see he was sorry he was late getting it in. He got it done in 3 days. There it was. And then I got my order in 5 days. So in 5 days, I had this logo done for a total of $45. He would have done it for just $5, but I asked for some additional things. I asked for a banner, and I asked for some other things, which he's working on getting to me now. So as you can see, I have a $15 balance in my Fiverr account. I use this to create business card for my Catherine Hall Unlimited. The logo was created using Fiverr. You can do audio. You can edit your videos. We'll be talking soon about how to use video in your marketing. I went to a training last month. And it talked about how you can do your own videos and walking around. You can actually film yourself without having to have a film crew. And so I'm going to be purchasing all the equipment that I learned how to use when I went to this video training, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use it for in applications of a 203K consultant. And then I'm going to post some videos on YouTube for us on, you know, basically some quick clips about what to do when you're on a draw inspection, or what to do, how to evaluate things when you're doing an inspection. So I'm really looking forward to utilizing the technology, and from what I've been told, the cost of the systems that I'll be purchasing and the equipment is nominal. So look for that information, and I will be using Fiverr to do things like audio editing and mastering. I'm going to be creating a jingle, or actually some background music. Anything that you want, you can get done. And so if you don't have a Fiverr account, go ahead and get it, because this is really a great tool that you should definitely want to take advantage of. Kenneth Perkins, you have a question. Go ahead, I unmuted you. Kenneth, your hand was raised? So I'm assuming that was maybe a computer glitch. Okay, does anybody have any questions about Fiverr? Because you all should be taking advantage of this opportunity. It's, you know, you don't pay until you're happy, so there's no risk. And again, $45, you know, $5, $45 to us is like $200 to these individuals in other countries in the world. So don't feel like you're going to get cheap quality. You're not, as you could see from the logo. This, you know, it's crisp, it's clean, it's nice, it'll look beautiful all over everything that we're going to be working with it, and it's basically kind of carries the theme of the HUD house. So you know, for $45, I couldn't have asked for a better logo. And he's going to create a banner. He's going to link in all the other logos. So definitely you want to consider working with Fiverr as an option for your businesses. Okay. Basically, I want to thank everybody for your kind words of sympathy. We lost a family member last week, and that's why we did not have the Power Team Innovator coaching call. And my family member was my dog. He was 18 years old, and he actually was the dog. He was Samantha's pet. We actually got him for her, and so she was very, very upset when we lost Coco. But thank you so much for understanding. I just was really kind of a mess last Thursday, and I really just couldn't couldn't handle being on a coaching call and giving you the quality that I know you needed and expected from us today. And you know, what we want to do today is I want to kind of have I want to actually go over the things that I was planning on discussing in the call last week. And actually it is more in tune with a Power Team Achievers call as opposed to a Power Team Innovator. And what I want to talk about with you today is I want to talk about, and this actually is going to be something that we're having addressed in our software, so that's the cool part. I want to talk to you about working with final draws and working with moving money over from the main account to the contingency. You see, with the Rehab Estimator software that we currently utilize, you do not have the ability to keep accurate records of when money is moved from the main account to the contingency. And from what I mean by that is, let me go here to this folder here. So if we go to, I think, draw number 4. And let's see, that's the draw. That's not it. Looking for change order. I think it was draw number 5. Nope. And let's see, not that either. I guess let's go back to 2 then. All right, when in doubt, we go to the spreadsheet. So let me show you what I had to create, because when you have change orders, let me just show you this PDF. This is from the lender, and I have mentioned to you in the past, whenever you are getting ready to do your final draw inspection, before you do the final inspection, before you actually submit it to the lender, before you actually even go out to that final inspection appointment, you want to ask the lender to send you a breakdown of what's been dispersed to this point and what is remaining in the fund. Okay, so now what you're looking at here is where they had the draws. Draw number 7 was just simply a compliance draw where we asked for an extension, so there was no actual money changing hands. That's why you see the skip. And so you can see draw 6 and 8. These were disbursements, one from the main account and one from the contingency account. And as you can see here, total dispersed to date was $104,765, holdback $10,476, total release, which we don't care about. We care mostly about the dispersed to date. And the remaining balance was $10,000. Now, the contingency would be 10% of the total project amount, and this shows you that they've used up all of their contingency. Now, I want you to pay attention to this form. If you'll notice, the only lender who actually allocates funds from the specific 35 categories of improvements is Wells Fargo. Every other of these lenders that we work with don't care pretty much during the course of the renovation where the money comes out. All they have is one giant bucket of money. So what you're looking at is what you would see with Prospect Mortgage, with Freedom Mortgage. All the lenders, with the exception of Wells Fargo, don't really keep an accurate count of how the money is being dispersed from the specific categories. So now what you're looking at here, this is a spreadsheet that we created to show what was dispersed in each category. So what you're looking at here is, so actually draw number 8. Let's see if I can open that folder up. And let's see, draw number 6. And let's see, this is the final draw for printing. Let's see. Okay, they're not showing up here. But let me show this to you here. As you can see on this is a printout that we created. Now you might say, well, can't you do this with the Rehab Estimator? You can do much of this, but what you cannot see with the Rehab Estimator is an ongoing balance of what remains in the account following the disbursement. The Rehab Estimator doesn't show you in any kind of a format except total lump numbers what is in each category. Also with the Rehab Estimator, there's no way that you can keep track of when you have deducted money from a change order. So now what you're looking at here is where you can see the individual draw requests, and then you can see here where we had a contingency disbursement of, on change order 1, $8,000 was deducted from the contingency reserve, and then you can see where it says it was denied because it exceeds the contingency fund money. That's because the lender did not pay attention to the fact that we sent them a change order to move money into the contingency. So now let me show you the form, the spreadsheet that I actually created that actually breaks it down a little bit more easy to understand. Okay, so let me open this up here. All right, good. So let me show you this screen. Now, if you look at the screen here, you see where we had the draw 1 and then the balance, draw 2 then the balance, draw 3 then the balance, draw 4 and the balance, etc. And then you can see that this here is change order number 1. And change order number 1 was $1,000 taken out of the contingency reserve for a heating change order. And then you can see change order number 2 is where we moved $4,095 into contingency, returned the money to the contingency fund for work that was not done. And only after they acknowledged this money being moved over to the contingency did they pay out the contingency disbursements, because they didn't see the money there. So that once we showed them, okay, we're moving this money out of the category of improvement based upon a letterhead from the contractor which states that this is work that he did not need to do, did we now have the ability for us to be able to do that? So if you look here on the paperwork here on the screen, and let me see if I can show that to you. And it's not showing up. The screen's taking a little longer. Okay, so now the screen should be showing you this is a request to make a change to the project for work that was not done. So you see here where it says the local asphalt plants are closed for the season and this item cannot be completed with an alternative method. So we asked the lender, is it okay if we do not redo the driveway? Can he just keep the driveway as is because he's planning on enlarging it in the future? The work was originally a desired option, not a mandatory option. So they allowed him to take and put this $1,450 back into contingency. Here you can see basement shower, it cannot be completed due to violation of the local plumbing code, mixing sewer drain with rainwater runoff. So in other words, they won't let him do the basement bathroom he originally planned to do without very, very expensive plumbing corrections. So that's $650 that's going to be added back to contingency. And then here you see $935 again for the basement bathroom. They won't allow him to do it. And so the net change to contingency is $3,035 for these three items. So you can see here the $1,450, the $650, and the $935 for the plumbing. And that's the amount of money that actually was $935 was deducted. All these items were then deducted from the change orders and deducted from the line items of the SOR and added to contingency. But here's what happened. The contractor was unaware because when we made the actual draw request forms using the rehab estimator, when you deduct it out of the category to move to contingency and you create that change order to do it, it does not alter the balance available on the rehab estimator, and so the draw request form that the contractor sees still shows money available to spend. And so the contractor, not realizing he had done this, went and actually spent money out of a category, money that was supposed to be moved over to contingency. and we caught this at the final draw. And so we told them, look, we have to take this money out of another category because you actually over-dispersed this category from the standpoint that you took money that actually was earmarked to be moved to the contingency. Did the bank care? No, they did not care at all because, as I said, they all have their money in one lump bucket. They're not paying attention to it the way we do. So now the new software, the Genesis software, will allow you to deduct from the current balance without affecting the initial escrow categories. So in other words, we don't want to ever touch these original amounts, but we want to be able to edit and alter the balances. And if you are deducting money out of a category to move it to contingency for work not needing to be done, we want to be able to reflect that. So then let's say you're wiping that account out. We want to make it so that it is now reflected in available balance. So that's what will be done with the Genesis software that is not currently able to be done with the Rehab Estimator. So be very careful because we got caught because we were using the Rehab Estimator program instead of using this spreadsheet. So I'm going to give everybody access to this spreadsheet so you actually can use it you can change the numbers and copy the information so that if you are in a position and the formulas will automatically calculate for you. So you won't need this spreadsheet if all you are doing is paying out draws and paying out money out of available contingency reserve. The only time you will need this program until you get to use the Genesis software, which will be in a couple weeks because I have a major meeting with them tomorrow, so I'm really excited. The only time you will need this is in the interim if you are doing a change order that moves money from the balance of an SOR line item to the contingency reserve. Does everybody understand what I just described? Is there any questions about this? Because I don't want any of you to get into a situation where you actually spend all the money and you don't find out till the end that the contractor has spent money that was not supposed to be his, because in this circumstance the client was due money out of this contingency to reimburse him for materials he had purchased for other work, and then had we not had that $10,000 in the available SOR line items to pay him, it would have been a situation where he would have had to ask the contractor to give him the money. So from now on, like I said, for the next couple of weeks only, until we get the project up, Genesis up and running, we have this as a backup tool for those of you who are working with the Rehab Estimator software and finding yourself using a contingency change order that actually moves money back into contingency. So we're going to put this, we're going to make available this file, this formatted spreadsheet in Excel on the Power Team site so everybody can have access to it in the example that you see here. And once you go in, and if you we'll save it to a new file name, we'll zero out all these items so you won't see anything here. You'll just see this draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. So you have up the maximum of 6 draws, etc. Change orders will be here with zeros, and so you'll still have your balances. So everything. So in other words, we'll zero this out, and as you can see, once we zeroed it out, the balances all populate correctly. So we're just going to take care of it for you. So I'm going to file, save as. Samantha, if you can make sure this gets uploaded to the Power Team site tomorrow, that would be great. And I'm actually going to save this in the 203K box folder. So let's go there. And let's see if I can get this there now. So does everybody understand? Because this is causing people problem. This is causing problems for people when they are working with the program. So this is a summary of funds and change orders. And it's called Summary of Funds Change Order Master. That will be the name of the file, and it's an Excel workbook, and it's going to be uploaded to the Power Team site tomorrow. Okay. So that being done, what I wanted to spend the rest of this evening, talking with you guys is about questions that you've had. Many of you have started doing things like your first draws, your first projects, and you've asked me some important questions that I want to find out what is your status of your activities going forward. So we're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to take it alphabetically by first name. So we're going to start with Chuck Bolner. Good evening, Chuck. How are you tonight? Chuck, you're unmuted.
How are you?
Hi, Chuck.
Are you there?
We're here.
There you go.
Yes.
How you been?
I'm okay. We're pretty good. We you know, like
Sorry
I
to hear
said.
about your dog.
Yeah, we actually had bought another dog. My husband, we bought for our anniversary on June 4th. We bought a new dog because we knew that Coco was getting to the point where he was going to be, you know, leaving us soon. But I was always hoping he would just die on the couch. But Mike Troisi described to me why that is not a good thing. One of the things he said, if your dog dies, you know, at home in his sleep, you always remember that spot on the couch is where the dog died. So, you know, it probably was better that he did go to the vet to do it. But we had a new dog. We bought a 9-year-old dachshund, and so now we're trying to get a 9-year-old dog, trying to teach an old dog new tricks. But more to the point, how are you today?
Doing well, doing well.
What's going on in your world?
Well, I had a 203 Streamline final draw.
Great.
That's the only thing I've been able to get so far, but it worked out pretty good. We did it up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and it went really smooth. Everything was put together well by the lender, and basically it was just a final inspection and draw, and we got it all done. It was a quick one, but at least I got my feet wet. So
absolutely perfect. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I think you should go back to that lender and congratulate him. I'd send him, you know, send him a little email or a card even. Thank you for allowing me to, you know, a handwritten card, you know, with some of your business cards in it, or maybe send it in with a full-size envelope with a thank you card, with some of your flyers, you know, some of the Just for Funds or the Ask the Consultant flyers. So, hey, here's something you can hand out to some future buyers, and I look forward to working with you again. Hopefully our next one will be a full 203K, and I guarantee it will be just as smooth as this Streamline was for you. They're afraid. Lenders are afraid.
Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, they want you, you know, lenders don't understand, and a lot of people, I'm not sure who it was, and if you're on this call and I get to you, please sing out and say that you were the person who asked me this question. But one of you asked me this question, that you got a lender who wanted he wanted the consultant, the lender wanted the consultant to tell him everything that needed to be done. He didn't seem to know anything, and matter of fact, it was a coaching call I had with someone, I can't remember who, I apologize, but as a result of that, for the August coaching mailing, you're getting a 203K flow of events for the loan officer. It's a checklist that I'm going to give you guys that you actually can have printed with your logo, and you can give that out as a tool for the loan officers. Even your dog likes it, you know.
Yeah, he did. He's excited.
He's excited. And probably what we're going to do is we're going to give you one copy of it with the NAFAC logo on the top, laminated. And then if you want to get more copies laminated, we're going to give you a link to Best Value copies so that you actually so if you get a laminated copy, that way they can spill coffee on it, and it will be something that they'll hold on to and keep available for future reference, because we want the lenders.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so whoever you are who gave me that idea in a coaching call, please sing out when it comes time for when I mention your name. But we want them to come to us. I want the loan officer that says, you know what, this is my first one. I really don't know what I'm doing. Will you help me? Heck yeah. Because guess what? That's a person who's only going to want to do it the way I want them to know how to do it.
This is true.
So don't hesitate to embrace the lender who says, well, you know, I've only done Streamlines. I'm not really sure about the full K. So now in your July in your July monthly mailing packet, and that you're going to be getting in the, you know, toward the end of this month, we've actually given you guys a checklist for questions to ask the client when scheduling a 203K. So, and I actually recorded an audio recording of me basically just rambling on about what to think about and what you need to ask when you or your back office person is scheduling a 203K consultation. What are the critical questions to make sure you're going to have the best experience and the client's going to have the best experience when you arrive at the property? So that's what's coming up in July, and in August you're going to have your 203K flow of events for the loan officer, and for September I've created a whole new PowerPoint presentation based upon my book, Major Purchase, Major Decision, the 7 Things to Know Before Hiring a Home Inspector. So those 7 things are now in a PowerPoint presentation that will be supported by the book, Major Purchase, Major Decision, that all of you who are members of the diamond level or above can get an e-version with your picture on the cover to add to your homepage of your website. So we've got a lot of activity going forward, and we actually have things planned out months in advance. Thanks to my enlarged staff and the quality of my staff, I'm able to plan things out even further than just like next month. So yeah, so look for this month to receive information that you can share on the CD with your back office person, your scheduler, or yourself as a review or as new information on what to do to schedule. But don't hesitate to thank that person, congratulate them. Just like, I don't know if many of you are familiar with the concept, but as being a member of Mike Crow's Dream Team for many, many years before I have my own group now, he taught some things, and one of the things that we actually did that he had suggested, I don't know who was it who started it, but one of the things we did for a long time and still do on an occasion is we'll go to an office with the RALS. I don't know if you're familiar with the term RALS, Return Address Labels and Postcard System, where you send out postcards and return address labels with the new address of the property the client's purchasing. And we'll send it in a clear envelope with a balloon, a Mylar balloon, inflatable balloon saying congrats. And we take it to the real estate office. And this inflated balloon sits there on their desk with the word congrats all over it. And people go up to the person at the desk. Well, what are you being congratulated for? Oh, my home inspector was congratulating me on closing the deal. Oh, you closed the deal. That's fantastic. So you might want to do something like that. If that office is near to you, you might want to take them a thank you card with the flyers, with the balloon, taped to it, and basically a congratulations balloon. It's nice when people acknowledge what you've done, and real estate agents do a lot. So, real estate lenders go through a lot of work. So Chuck is dropped offline, poor Chuck, but I'm sure he'll be back on in a minute. So we're really excited. So Chuck, don't hesitate to really embrace this opportunity to let that lender know, I'm ready to take you to the next level of a full 203K, and I'm here to help you with that. Okay? So Chuck, it looks like you're back up. All right? Did you have anything else you wanted to share this afternoon, this evening?
Yeah. No, that's it. I appreciate that. I lost that part of that connection, but I think I got what you were saying. So,
yeah, go ahead and really embrace the fact that you closed that deal. Applaud him, make him feel like you are just as excited to work with him on a streamline as you would be on a full, and that and say, hey, have you done any fulls? No, I really haven't gotten into the full 203K yet. Well, I can understand without the right partners, without the right team, a full K can be daunting. And I just want you to know I'm here to provide you with that support from start to finish to make it just as smooth as the streamline was.
Sounds great. Thanks, Catherine.
You're welcome. Thanks, Chuck.
You bet.
I'll keep you unmuted because you're real nice and quiet. So if you have anything else you want to chime in, please don't hesitate.
Okay.
And next we have Doug Corbridge. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. One day I'm going to have all my dogs on the call, and I'm going to say, speak, and then we're going to have dogs barking all throughout the whole call. So my daughter has a big, fat American Pit Bull Terrier, and so she has a big, I don't think he barks, though. I don't think he makes any noise. So, Doug, what's going on in your world?
Well, 4 weeks ago I fell off a roof.
Oh, no. Are you okay?
Yeah, the day after the last call we had, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I didn't break anything. I was off for about 12 days, but I've been back to work since then.
All right. So what happened? Were you what precipitated that? I mean, I've fallen off a roof, but not all the way off. I've slid and caught myself at the edge, kind of thing. I was able to get back onto the roof. So I've never actually fallen all the way completely off a roof, and consider mine are 32 feet high. It would be kind of a bad thing if I did. So what happened?
I don't know. I remember standing on the roof, and I remember some guy saying the ambulance is coming.
Oh.
That's all I remember, because I had a concussion.
Okay.
And I separated my shoulder, split my head open, and I got 14 stitches in my finger.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't remember any of it. I'm not sure how or why I fell or anything.
Okay, well, you know what? And now you're
So needless to say, I'm very careful now.
yes, be careful. Yeah, okay, this is good. You want to definitely be really careful. Um, and so you're just getting back into the swing of things. So please, it takes a lot. Concussions are very difficult, tricky things.
Yeah, that's the first time I've had one, and yeah, first 3 or 4 days it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, and the headaches I've had concussion. Actually, my daughter Samantha is on the line and she's texting here, and you can actually text to the members, Samantha. You don't have to just text to your text is actually only going to me, so you actually can chat right to Doug. But she actually has training as a nurse, and she's saying any signs of headaches going forward needs to be checked immediately by your doctor. And I'm sure they probably told you that as well.
Yeah, my wife's a nurse.
Oh well, then you're good. You got at-home personal love.
I did, yeah.
Well, I hope you feel better, and I hope you just take it easy and just rest.
Well, yeah, I'm back to work. About a week ago, I had a lender call me and said she had a 203K that she needed done, and I said, well, I'll just come into your office and talk to you about it. And she's never done a full 203K. It was kind of along the same thing we were just talking about. They always do streamlines, but they've never done a full 203K. And I said, well, exactly what do you need? And all she could tell me was, well, I need a report from a consultant. And
right.
That's
all she knows. That's all they know.
Exactly.
Right. You have to tell them, okay, now what you really, I understand that in order to go to closing you need that, but before I can give you that, this is what I have to do. And I want you to understand, because it's not just, you don't need just a consult. It's unlike a streamline where all they need is, you see, here's the situation, and this is fabulous that everybody's experiencing the same thing. Lenders are now seeing, it's just like anything. It takes a while for the wave to finally roll to the shores of most of these markets. And lenders, just like real estate agents, will take the path of least resistance to make money, and they're afraid of doing things different. So they won't do things that are new and scary. So now they're finding that, okay, well, I've tried Streamline. I've done a few of those. That worked. Now maybe I should try full, because look how much more money I could make with a full. But they're not sure what that means to say full. All they know is with the Streamline, here's all they have to do. To do a 203K Streamline, all the lender needs is, at the very minimum, they need a proposal from a contractor. Now, some lenders are requiring that the client provide 3 proposals from 3 separate contractors, even if they're only using contractor A, because they want to verify that the prices that's being charged by contractor A are consistent with what 2 other independent contractors would charge. These are the lenders who either have been or are trying to prevent being burned from situations where a client's got a friend who's a contractor and tries to tell him, hey, I can do this for $10,000, when in reality it's going to cost $27,000 for a real person to do it. So you can't just use one estimate anymore. So now what a lender will do is they will ask for either A, 3 different bids from 3 separate contractors on the work, or B, the easier task and what you all can market to lenders to provide. In lieu of getting 3 separate contractor bids, why don't you have me as a consultant do a feasibility analysis whereby I will guarantee that you're at the very least going to make sure to cover all mandatory FHA repairs, even if the buyer and the contractor aren't in tune to what they are and might not even have them on their scope of work. You don't have to wait for the appraiser to come in and say, oh, by the way, you're missing a guardrail on the front porch in your proposal. Go back and rewrite it. So you can say, for a nominal fee, and in lieu of the buyer having to get a home inspection, I can give a feasibility report that can also be used for negotiation if necessary in a home inspection criteria, but will be able to support the contractor's proposal. So you'll get my independent feasibility analysis, and then the contractor can then put his estimate on his letterhead, and then you can actually see what the 2 costs are. Okay? And then, so that's what you do with the Streamline. Doug, what are you doing? What are you moving around, Doug?
Kleenex?
Sorry. we can all hear your rumble. I'm like, what is he doing? So that's what they're used to. They're used to getting a Streamline report, and all they have to do is get that one document from the contractor, and then they can take it to closing. We don't do that with a full K. And so this is what they have to understand. I know that what you need, Mr. Lender or Miss Lender, I know what you need is a final work write-up report that has the contractor's numbers, that documents exactly what the work that will be done and what the contractor is charging for material and labor and permits and etc. But before I can get that to you, I have to go out to the property. I've got to evaluate it. I've got to create a feasibility report and a contractor bid form so the contractor has a document that he can use to fill in the numbers. And then once I get those numbers back from the client and the contractor, then I create your final work write-up. So yes, it is not just going right to letter. It's not a situation where you go right to Z. I've got to go to A, B, C, and then I'll get you to Z. So they need to understand that. And so you need to let them know early on the process does take a little longer than a streamline. And if you are involve me in early, get me in first, okay? Don't wait until you've got through a whole lot of process. Don't let the client get a home inspection. Have them call me first. We do the feasibility study, and if they would like to get the information that's created by a home inspection report, which is different than a 203K consultation, I'm also a qualified home inspector. I can do them both at the same appointment for separate fees, and I can discount the one off the other, etc. Call me first. I did a feasibility study last week, and I actually mentioned it on the recording that you're going to hear in the July coaching program. So I'm not going to go into too much depth. But the client's comment to me was, I wish the lender had let me talk to you before I did so many other things, because had I known what you've told me, I would have bid differently on this foreclosure sale. I would have bid differently on the property. I would have done other things first. That's the most important thing, is get these lenders to a place where they call you first. As soon as a person is even preliminarily qualified and looks like they're going to have the money and have the credit to go forward, get you involved, and you will make sure that they get to closing. The most important thing you want to say, ladies and gentlemen, is I am just as motivated to get to the other side of closing as you are, because that's where I make most of my money. You've got to really pound that into them that, hey, I want to get them on the other side of closing. This is my goal too. Does that help, Doug?
Yes, it does. It does. My problem was I have no software to work with, and wasn't real familiar with the steps, so I wasn't able to help at that particular point in time.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, so yeah. It's something that like I said, I am feverishly getting this stuff out there to you. But in the very least, you can at least explain to them what you do to help the clients and what you do to assist them so they can move forward.
Right. Yes. I understand. That was very helpful.
And we are working on. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an inside heads up. Nothing is firm. I don't have a contract yet. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure the time or the venue is available at this point. But we are working on the NAFAC Super Conference for September of 2015 here in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, at the Valley Forge Casino and Convention Center. We're working on that, and we're trying to crunch numbers to see if we can invite high members of the National Association of Realtors and the National Mortgage Brokers Association to this event so they can go back to their respective environments and trickle down, hey, you want to work with NAFAC consultants only. So we're not sure if we're going to be able to have the venue in Valley Forge. We're working on it, but right now His Holiness the Pope is coming to Philadelphia the end of September of 2015, so we're not sure what the situation is with hotel accommodations and room blocks that might be taking place for September 2015 in Philadelphia area because of the Pope coming to Philadelphia. So we'll let you know. We'll know more about that by December of this year when we start our actual marketing. But I'm really, really wanting to, once the software is fully up to speed, NAFAC is going to be taking a huge, visible, very loud, voluble role in promoting 203K, and I'll be doing a full court marketing campaign all around the country, just basically telling everybody I can about NAFAC and what we can do with them and helping them with NAFAC. Okay, Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, dear. You feel better? Keep resting. Keep drinking lots of water, and don't overdo it.
I will not.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Stay on the line. Hi, Jacques. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
I'm talking away over here. I'm sorry. All is well. All is well. Just following up with you from our conversation last week, and just sharing with the group. I talked to the lender last week about that 203K that he didn't understand, and he's never done a full 203K. So he'd done streamlines, but he didn't understand the full process. So I'm still trying to walk him through it.
Were you the person I spoke to where I came up with the idea of the 203K flow of events for the loan officer?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. I knew it was somebody on this call. Way to go, Jacques. Jacques inspired me, guys, so thanks, Jacques.
You're welcome.
He's my muse who got me started in it, and actually it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to make it as a real visible, pretty, nice looking, like a flow chart that actually shows them, hey, just follow the flow chart, and the first thing on the flow chart is call your NAFAC certified 203K consultant. That's the first thing on that flow chart.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. So you had a conversation with the lender, and what happened followed that conversation?
He's going to reach out to somebody in his office for him to get some help. Because what happened was the lady, she was doing a streamline. She wanted to move a wall, which was a load-bearing wall. I told her, that was okay, but it would turn into a full 203K. So she goes back to the lender. The lender says, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't move the wall, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, he just doesn't understand how to do a full. So he's with, I don't know, somebody mortgage here in Atlanta, and he just doesn't understand the process.
Right. He's a broker then.
Yeah.
Right. So as a loan broker, he can simply just broker it to a full K investor lender. Now, it may be that his brokerage does not have a relationship with an investor lender that can do the loan. And this gets into a very touchy situation because you should have relationships with all different types of brokers and loan officers, lenders. And at some point you might say to the client, hey, if you really truly want to move this wall, you might need to go to another lender. But that's only after you've spoken to this person and say, hey, do you have the capacity to actually write a 203K full? Do you have an investor lender who you would sell the loan to if it were a full K? Did he say he did or not?
He's looking into it. I don't think that's going to work only because the buyer is so ready to close. But she said that the guy is telling her if he goes back to do the full, it's going to push the timeline back, and she's ready to close.
And that's a shame because it really wouldn't push the timeline back. It just means that he's trying to discourage her from doing it because he can't.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's the kind of person you want to really talk to after this deal closes and say, you know what, I totally understand that this was something that came up in the midst of a loan and you wanted to make sure you got to closing before she lost her expiration or a lot of factors makes them want to close the loan quickly. But now that that deal is closed and hopefully before you get another one, let's talk about how the 203K full works and how it can work for you because, she could have added so much more money to this mortgage and that would have given you a bigger commission.
Right.
So if you can speak to them about how much more money he would have made, just think how much money you would have made, John, if you had gotten this full deal gone through, if she was adding additional $10,000 to the write-up, and if she obviously could afford it, etc. Just think how much more money you would have made on your commission.
Well, I'm going to see him tomorrow, so I'll use that tactic with him tomorrow when I see him.
Absolutely. You got to dangle that carrot. It's the money carrot. And most of my loan officers that I work with now, they don't even want to do streamline because they look at it as a streamline. And here's another thing, gentlemen and ladies, this is what you need to remember. The two hot buttons. Remember, you don't sell features, you sell benefits. Okay? The feature is that the loan officers should embrace 203K full loans. Oh, Jacques, you got a lot of static. You should embrace the I muted you, Jacques, because you're making too much noise. You should embrace the 203K full loans for two reasons. You should embrace it because I will help make sure the loan goes forward. And the benefit to you is this. With a full 203K loan, you get someone else who's doing all this paperwork that you are currently having to do with the Streamline, because that's what the consultant does. And don't be surprised. And please remember, with a Streamline, the loan officer is the one who's hunting down contractor estimates and hunting down permit fees and doing all the things you do for a full. He has to do for Streamline. So with a full K, for money that's reimbursed to the borrower at closing and added to the escrow, they get to do less work because the work goes to you, and they make more money on the deals. Those are the two biggest benefits why the loan officers I work with now, even if it looks like it could go Streamline, they're now telling their clients, oh, I'm sorry, none of our lenders accept Streamline. You must go with this consultant. So they're even telling people, we don't do Streamline anymore. We only do full. Because they see now, I can make more money, I can have less work, and the client gets the benefit of a qualified consultant who's going to make sure that I get what I need to be able to go to closing. And that's the third benefit, that you will make sure that the lender knows as early as possible whether or not this deal is feasible, and if it is feasible, you will see to it and you will take the responsibility and you'll take the reins in your hand to get everything that the lender needs from the contractor, from the buyer, from the township, from you, to make sure they have a full package to submit to underwriting. Okay, so those are your three biggest tools that you want to share, is the fact that I'm here to make it easier for you, I'm here to make you more money, and I'm here to give you less work. The three things that everybody wants: ease, more money, less work. Got it? I muted you again, Jacques.
Okay, so how do I explain to him that the timeline won't change, or it won't change that much?
Very good question, because in reality, the timeline will change if they do not involve you soon enough. So the object is to keep the closing within the typical 45, 60-day timeline of a regular Streamline K loan. They need to involve you as soon as the client's offer is accepted from the seller. Don't wait until mortgage packages are done. You need to be brought into the process at the same point that the home inspector would be brought in. In fact, even earlier than that. Okay,
well,
so
I think we're already past that point, because she's had the contractors. I did the home inspection, and when I did the home inspection, that's when she started telling me, what she was going to do to the home after she, closed. And I said, well, have you thought about 203K? And she was like, oh, I'm doing a 203K. So that's when we made the switch over at that point.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now the point is that the loan officer here, he's not willing to change this to a full K right now because he might not have a strong enough relationship with an investor lender to market this loan to. So this one probably will have to stay as a Streamline, in which case she can't move that wall.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, and I guess I'm kind of playing with this here. Now, they can do the Streamline portion, but if she paid for the wall to be moved with her own money, the contractor can still move it. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. Outside of contract, outside of the 203K process, surely she can.
Okay. All right.
But you may want to counsel her or suggest to her that she wait until, if it's feasible, if it's possible, she may want to wait until the contractor has completed all of the FHA required repairs first, because you don't want to have any kind of a conflict that might arise. Let me explain what I'm talking about, and this has happened to me. I was doing a 203K project. It was not a Streamline. It was a full. And the client had asked the contractor to move a wall. He wanted him to open up the wall between the kitchen and the dining room to enlarge, make the bigger kitchen. Well, so I didn't know he was telling him to do this, okay? And the contractor was there doing other work. When he opened up that wall, it turned out that when he opened up the wall, he exposed cloth-covered wiring, knob and tube wiring. The municipal inspector came out to inspect something else, saw this opened up wall with this knob and tube wire, and said, oh, you've got to rewire this whole area now. Oh, yeah. And then they got in trouble because the client didn't have the money out of pocket to do the rewiring that was necessary to do this out-of-pocket expense, and I couldn't get my signed off CO, certificate of occupancy, from the municipality until it was done. So now I had to go back to the lender and get them to agree to give me money out of contingency to pay for electrical work that never should have been opened up as part of that 203K.
Right. I understand.
So you might want to suggest to her, okay, unless it is absolutely totally necessary that this wall be opened up now to make it work with the other things. For an example, if he's putting in flooring in that area and it's going to change how he lays the floor down if the wall is open or there or not, obviously it might be something you can't get away with. But if it's at all possible to not open that wall up till after he's finished the work for the 203K, you want to keep things simple for stupid people.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great question. And everybody should thank Jacques. And everybody who's unmuted at the end of the call, you can all thank Jacques for giving me the idea. So next we have John Klassen. Hey, John, how are you? John, can you hear me? You're self-muted, so when you get yourself unmuted, go ahead and talk. And while you're getting yourself unmuted, John, I had a client, a new member, who I send with every new package, we have a bonus packet. And one of the bonus items, John, is that recording that you and I had on how to take over a 203K project. And one of our new members said how helpful that recording was to them, because it actually, everything that you had to do, he had to deal with. So are you there, John?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I remember that project. I just took over in the middle of it, and the lender and the borrower and their contractor were all arguing. I made a lot of money.
Yes, you did.
It was great.
No, it was a great learning experience for you, and it was a great training experience for me. That, as everybody knows, I record everything we do. It's now part of our standard package of training tools. It's now part of the basic package now to teach people how to take over a job and make a lot of money doing it.
Great.
So what's going on in your world?
Well, staying busy. I think I've got a half dozen projects going right now. I've got maybe a simple question I hope you can answer. When I'm using the rehab estimator,
okay,
and trying to produce the report for the lender, how do you get it to produce one PDF file for everything?
Okay, which report are you trying to use?
Well, I'm doing the rehab estimator, and you go to print/preview reports.
Okay, hang on for a second. Let me go to that page for you. Hold on for 1 second. And let me open up the rehab estimator. And, you know, the cool thing about these calls, guys, is, you know, so far, you know, everybody typically has, if one person has a situation, usually you all do at one point or the other, and that's why it's so cool. All right, so now, what report are you looking to print?
The whole package.
Okay, you want to create the whole package?
Right.
Now, if you have his new
you're using 2010, I've got 2011.
Okay, I don't have 2011 on here because when I tried to use it, it kind of like crashed my computer. And so you might want to reach out to him, to Larry Madison personally, because I do know that it is very complicated to do it. I'm sorry to say.
Well, that's probably the problem. In 2010, I could do it. In 2011, I can't produce one single file.
Yeah, I mean, I had it on my computer at one point, and again, like I said, he changed the system without asking my advice or feedback, and okay, you're going to do something new, and not let me beta test it, so okay, fine, have a good day. So I don't know about that program because I did have it on my computer, and like I said, I can't even open it because when I tried to open it, it crashed my computer.
Well, I'm looking forward to your Genesis project.
So am I. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't stand it. So yes, that is definitely. Hang on, we have someone. Tommy, did you have a comment that you want to share?
Yeah, Catherine, this is Tom Orr. How you doing?
Great.
I'm using the new version, and to create a single PDF on that, you go into the create a package and select all of the items that you want to create or put into the package. Then you go to the part where it allows you to preview everything, and then at the top of that page there's a block that says create a single PDF.
Isn't there a place that you have to give a name to the package or something?
Yeah, that's create a package. It's the same page that you got showing right now,
okay,
except at the top it gives you an option of putting a name to a packet. And then you select every item that you want to be in that packet, save it, and then go to the review, which is you have two blocks, one to leave and one to review it. And the one to review it's in red. You click on that, it'll take it in, it'll show you all the pages you've selected and gives you the option of reviewing them to make sure they're correct. And then at the top of the page it says create a PDF. And you just click on that, and every one of the items that you've got in that review goes into the PDF, and it creates it and files it in the file that named for what you're working.
Okay, so try that, and if it doesn't work, John, just go ahead and call Corporate Niche. They don't have, I haven't seen any tutorials on the system, so I'm not sure if he has some available online or something, but if Tommy's, I did remember seeing it when I did try it for a little while, and it is a little weird when you get to that page, but you should be able to, if you click that button to preview, you should be able to probably sneak through it.
All right, I'll give that a try.
Perfect. Thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome. And if you can't do it, call me.
Okay, perfect. And John, is there anything else going on? So you have what? You said you have a half a dozen running right now. Is it with some of the lender? Is it with one that lender who you saved the deal for?
It is.
Fantastic.
And one other question I had too is a couple of the projects I'm doing are actually home-style conventional loans.
Oh, okay. Yes.
They want to process them just like the 203K process, but they've asked me, can you do the report and don't have it say 203K? We want to have it say home-style conventional instead.
Yes. That's something that I'm not sure, again, with the old program, with the old rehab estimator program, it did, the one that I'm using, like I said, I haven't stopped using the one that I have because it did give me, it basically was everything I told them to do with it. I don't know about the new software, okay, because here on the old software, you actually can put the type of loan that it is, where you can see where it tells you the loan type. So you should have that on your on the new software, I'm hoping, where you go into modify property information, if you can see my screen, and there where it says loan type, there you can see HUD 203K, conventional, rehab, renovation, remodel, Fannie Mae, etc.
Okay.
So hopefully in the 2011 version or 2013, I'm not sure which one you're using, hopefully he does have that option available where you actually you can change it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so now it does, now by doing that, if you do that and you hit your print preview reports, the feasibility report will still say, now up here at the top, it will still say that this is a feasibility report for a 203K process, so it doesn't change any of that. The only place it will change it is basically on your on the content page or on the SOR. So if you print your SOR, you see where it says loan type conventional.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So again, so yes, so our program basically says, you know, rehab, it has that same option to basically change the type of project it is. Absolutely.
Simple enough. Thank you.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. Well, since I have you open and talking right now, Tommy, how are you today? Tommy Orr?
I am doing good. I've been very busy. Actually, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. I've been doing good. I'm very busy. I've got 8 203Ks running, 3 of which I've taken over for somebody else who started it but has disappeared. I'm doing all of them primarily for Home Street Bank, and they are coming out of the woodwork looking for me to pick up their pieces and carry them forward.
Fantastic. Well, you know, this is exactly what happens. You've got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, we are the highest echelon in quality 203K consultant. And for those of you who are doing them, please, and those of you who are unmuted, I know you've heard this. I know you've heard people say to you, because they say it to me, I've never had anyone be so professional with 203K.
It's easy to get into and do them once you get out there and do one very well. The rest of the guys that hear about it in the offices, and they immediately start calling you to do more.
And this is
it's
what
so
I
funny
told you.
Yeah.
It's not like a home inspection, from the standpoint that pretty much everybody expects a home inspector to do the same thing, and so so a home inspector is basically a dime a dozen. We are a rarity. A competent 203K consultant who is accessible, available, and excited to do them. That's what separates us from everybody else who's just on that roster and who, oh, well, I'll go ahead and do it if you've called me. But I really would rather not.
Catherine, I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Do you have anywhere in the internet, on the website, anywhere that it has examples of completed draw requests and change orders?
Okay.
I've been all through it, but it doesn't have examples of completed ones that I've seen, so that's why I was asking that. And the other is, what should I charge for a final inspection on a streamline that I didn't initiate?
I typically charge. I personally charge $200 plus mileage.
Okay. Okay. I've got a couple of calls, and I told them $400 total to do it, because I have to look at what they're supposedly have done and then go out there and do the final inspection and do the paperwork for it. And the guy says, oh, I don't know if they've got that much money or not. And so I didn't know what to charge.
Excellent. No, I charge, you pretty much want to just charge your typical draw fee, because with the streamline, all you're going to do is you're going to complete the compliance inspection report form. You're not going to be doing a draw request form. It's just a compliance inspection form to verify that the work has been completed, and we've talked about that in previous calls. What you're looking at here is the change order processing outline, and what I will do is we will actually attach to this PDF sample of completed draw request and change order documentation. When I upload that spreadsheet that I just talked about on how to formulate change orders and draws when you're moving money back into contingency, I will we'll put a folder on the website that will have this change order processing, and it also has the draw processing. So you can see draw and change order processing. So there's the change order processing link, and we'll put that on the website with the with samples of completed draw requests, because God in His infinite wisdom knows I have a ton of them. And as far as
where's this located?
This is on the volume 5 of the thumb drive. This is on your thumb drive.
Volume 5 of my thumb drive.
Yes. But we will post it on the website. We will put this on the website. You don't know where your thumb drive is. That's okay. We will post it on the website by the weekend. Okay, Samantha, make a note to have that posted on the website by the weekend. And so what was I trying to show you? Yeah, I wanted to show you guys this file here. And we have talked about this in the past. My active 203K projects. There you go. With a streamlined 203K, you're going to be using a CIR form, Compliance Inspection Report, for the streamline. This is the form that you fill out for a streamline inspection. Okay, and if you
is this form in the report rehab reporter?
No, it is not.
All right.
This is a
Oh.
PDF. This is a PDF form fill that you can get from HUD.
Oh, okay.
So if you just go to HUD, go to the HUD website, or just go to Google and Google form HUD 92051. Matter of fact, I actually have it right here, and I'll put this on the website. There it is. Samantha's taking notes, and she'll make sure all this stuff is done by the end of the weekend. There's the form right there, compliance inspection. It's a PDF form fill document. And if it fails to complete the inspection, then you put in the items that failed to complete down here on these lines.
Great.
Okay?
All right. I look
right.
forward to seeing that. Thank
So
you.
do you need it? If you have an urgent need, I can have Samantha email this to you tomorrow morning.
Right now, I do not have an urgent need.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so that will be up by the end of this weekend, along with samples of draw request and change order forms and that spreadsheet.
Last question.
Yes.
And then I'll let you go because I've got to get out of here to do some other work.
Okay.
The membership to the organization,
NAFAC.
your NAFAC organization.
Yes.
Are we going to get a card or something saying that we're
Yes.
members?
You're going to get cards. You're going to get seals. You're going to get labels. Now that we've had, I apologize. I do apologize. We had so many things that were getting started when Jessa was working for us, and then when Jessa married my son, and then they got shipped off to Oklahoma. A lot of things had stopped right when she stopped working, which obviously you're going to just.
You let her go to Oklahoma?
Yeah, well, my son went, so she had to go with him. So, what are you going to do? A wife must go with her husband. She needs to cook for my son, so she had to go. So when one daughter drops off, another daughter picks up. I have lots of children. It's the only reason why I have kids. So to keep my businesses running. So Samantha is settled in Tampa, and she's now eagerly working on it. So now that's what we're actually going to be working on that. We had a meeting about NAFAC, about the event in December, about the event in September of next year, all the things there's going to be a brand new website. There's going to be a NAFAC store where we're going to have shirts, clothing, jackets, decals, everything. It's all coming very soon. So yes, it is coming.
Great. I look forward to it.
No, I thank you so much for your patience. Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll keep you unmuted, but if you have to leave, please don't hesitate to go ahead.
I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. And next up we have Kenneth Perkins. Kenneth, are you there? Okay, Kenneth, when you get a chance to talk, just go ahead. Otherwise, if you need to, just type it into the type box. And following Kenneth is Kenton. Hi, Kenton.
Hello, ma'am. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? What's going on in your world?
Oh, I'm so busy with inspections, I don't know which way is up anymore.
It's lovely. It's a horrible, horrible, wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
And are you talking up 203K at all these inspections?
We are. I haven't got any, but I have been working with a gentleman that just started down here in the Fort Collins, Loveland area with Academy Mortgage. So hopefully that will pan out.
Do some joint real estate office presentations.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Excellent.
I have a couple comments. For the
Sure.
gentleman that fell off the roof,
Yes, Doug.
my wife actually made me buy an AR drone. It's a quadcopter, and it was very inexpensive, like $300, and it actually has 2 HD cameras in it, one that faces forward, one that goes straight down, and it's all run off your smartphone or your pad. And
How high up does it go?
150 feet.
Really?
So, yep. And it takes amazing, it does video, and you can take still pictures with it. It's different than walking on the roof, obviously, but it sure beats the hell out of falling off the roof.
So you said, oh, there it is, quadcopter with camera. I just typed that on Google. Oh, there it is.
An AR drone.
What is it called?
And an AR drone.
An AR drone.
Yep.
AR drone. Okay, you're flying camera quadcopter. I might get one of those puppies because, see, these 32-foot roofs are like getting on my nerves.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. It works awesome. It can upload your video right over to YouTube if you want, so you can watch it and enlarge it and do all that stuff. So it's just something to think about. There's a bunch of different stuff out there, but
Very cool. Thank you for that. I'm interested, actually. Like I said, because there's some, like, if it can go up to 160 feet, you said? AR quadcopter.
Yep, and it's an AR drone quadcopter made by Parrot.
Parrot.
And,
there you go. Parrot. I have a Parrot.
Yep.
I have a Parrot. It's not a drone. So, wow, it's sold by Amazon.com, 2.0 quadcopter controlled by iPod Touch, iPhone, iPad, Android. All right, I'm down.
Android, all of them.
Wow,
It
look
works.
at this puppy.
You should look into it. It's a plastic blade, so you don't even hurt yourself if it hits you.
Wow. You know what? You know what we might do? I tell you what, we're going to be at the Casey O'Malley Inspection World in it's no longer called Casey O'Malley. It's called Inspection Conference in Las Vegas, but we're going to be having our event in December. We might give this as a prize. We might have a drawing and give one of these away for free to somebody who comes to our December event in in Tampa. There you go.
It's treated me very well, so.
And it's got
Saved
the
me a few
camera. It
times.
comes with the camera and everything.
Yeah, 2 cameras, one that faces down and one that faces forward.
Thank you, Kenton. Okay, so for my anniversary is over, my birthday is over, but you know, my daughter's on the phone. She has brothers and sisters. They can all hook up together. So there you go. So no, this is looking fabulous. Actually, it's an Amazon Prime item. So I think we'll be giving one of these away to someone who comes to see us in Tampa. So there you go. There's some inducement.
There you go.
Thanks. So what else is going on, Kenton? Anything we can help you with?
Not too much. I know that I do have the people I've been working with, some of the mortgage people, they're no longer, if they do the streamlines, they're telling them that they need me to do the inspection first.
Yes.
Before they'll do the 203K.
Excellent. That's what you want. And you do a feasibility report, and it lets them take that report. And actually, if you do the feasibility, you can create the contractor bid form that they can use, and it just basically just ties them right back to you. They see your name on everything.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic.
And that's the right order that they should be doing that, correct? They should
Absolutely.
have me doing the inspection and the all at one time.
All at one time. If they want to do a home inspection. Now, we've talked in the past where I've tried to say, whenever possible, discourage them from a home inspection simply because you add that layer of liability.
Okay.
And it blurs the lines because I know that it's you know, you're used to doing home inspections, whereas I'm not. I don't do them anymore. But it blurs the lines of what you're looking for, because when you're looking at a home inspection, you're evaluating the property for as it looks today. When you think about a 203K, you are trying to extrapolate what it's going to look like tomorrow and how much is that going to cost. Okay. So it's kind of hard to wear two hats at the same time. If anything, what you might want to consider doing is if you're going to do the home inspection, take your notes, and then do the 203K write-up later after you've completed the inspection report. Don't try to evaluate the property from both perspectives when you're there with the client.
Yep. I do the home inspection, and then within 3 to 5 days later have the work write-up.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for not trying to get that 203K report to them instantly, because then they're going to have that expectation. So this is beautiful. You got it good. Perfect, Kenton. Very nice. Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Is that all we can help you with today?
Pretty much.
And thank you for that recommendation. Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Next up is Mike Troisi, who helped me so much understand why it was a good thing my dog went to the vet. How are you doing, Mike?
Doing well. Doing well. Good evening, everyone.
What's going on in your world?
Yes, home inspections are flowing very nicely, but on the 203K front, I had a training seminar with Movement Mortgage. I met with a gentleman by the name of Tom out of Movement Mortgage, who is a 30-year mortgage kind of guy. and he has never done a full 203K. And he was very honest, and he called me in, and he spoke with all of his realtors that he shares an office with, and said, I brought in a 203K guy, and you should see this paperwork. The paperwork's incredible. I mentioned how I'm part of a nationwide group with unlimited resources. I mentioned something about a woman in a red dress and how we have come together as a large group of NAFHAC members. So we network, we have webinars, and you can see their eyes like, wow. But they're doing a streamline. He had asked me to put together a streamline, and the house was clearly streamlinable.
Good.
So I put together a very nice little streamline package. He's taking it to closing. And on my full 203K side, I'm dealing with Prospect Mortgage, which I saw a prospect on the screen a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And these very nice 3 loan officers, because they're working together in a group of 3, are somewhat lost. I have an email from them authorizing, and we spoke the other day, authorizing me to submit the first draw without any permits because it's their policy. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
They do things a little differently.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the signed lien waiver, and we're going to process the first draw. Even though they put in a window without a permit, that's okay.
See, you know what?
Orange County requires a permit.
That is so wrong. That Prospect is letting these lenders, these contractors get away with this because it's a bad precedent to set. Because now this contractor, he's going to be possibly used to do another 203K, and it's going to be Freedom Mortgage, and Freedom Mortgage is going to say, we're not paying jack without a permit.
No, he's not going to do this again because he's learning. He's doing it for a friend, and he definitely put his neck on the chopping block. And I sent a very nice email mentioning how we need permits, and the borrower was a little bit twisted into a pretzel. I think it was a Philadelphia pretzel, actually. And I just responded very nicely how the bank is waiving the national requirements, and he's getting the lien waiver signed, and then I'll process his first draw. And I spoke with the loan officer today, and I mentioned that, under the 203K program, A, B, C, D, and E, and he goes, and there was a little pause, and he goes, well, we're going to do it this way. I said, no problem, you're in charge.
Well, you know what? I still would speak to my client and let them know that, okay, the bank is going to give your contractor money, but you still are legally responsible to have those permits in your township, and it's not the contractor who would be fined, it would be you.
Well, it would be nice if the code enforcement / county kind of guy happened to drive past the house, but that's very unlikely because it's a dead-end street, and nobody, not even the cops, go down this street.
Okay.
So, but it's going to work out nice as long as I am not the person whose neck is elongated on the block, and I have a paper trail to document how we're attempting to comply. But I'm very happy that we're going through the full K, and I'm very happy that I have this fantastic network of nationwide members, and we have the unlimited resources that a single individual 203K guy
yes,
does not have.
Right, exactly. The single guy does not have.
But we have the queen herself.
The queen herself.
The rest of us, I call myself a joker.
Yes, well, we will too. So listen, I'm going to cut you short because we have a lot of people still left on the call. I got to get through them all.
And yes, for those of us who lose pets, it is best to have a veterinarian or a proper facility receive our pet while they're sick, and then whatever happens outside the house.
Yeah, and Mike is a former New York police officer, New York police officer, and yeah,
I heard that.
And so he gave me some horror stories. So we won't share those. But thanks for that insight.
One last note: there is one of my competitors is using the copter, and everybody is gaga over this copter. But he spent $1,500 on his.
Woo!
So
okay.
I'm going to be on the other website. You're going to see me surfing. I'm going to be on Amazon. Actually, I'm on Amazon right now looking at copters.
Looking at copters. I'll be getting one too for myself. So
and it's NSA approved for those of us who pay attention.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Ricky Vernon. Ricky, you asked the question. You typed it in, and I was waiting for you to be able to come up on the line so I could bring that up to you again. Do you want to ask that question again that you asked about the compliance form?
Yeah, I thought you had to be a list inspector to to fill out one of those compliance forms.
No, you do not. If you look right here, you see where you see fee inspector, DE staff inspector, appraiser, or HUD inspector. You are listed as a fee-paid inspector. You're not a HUD inspector. You are a fee-paid inspector, and then you put your consultant ID number right there.
Okay. I was just checking because I was on that other list for quite a while.
You were on the HUD inspector list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never got any work off it. I think I got one job in like 3 or 4 years.
That's
applied
okay.
for that a long time ago.
They only pay $100 a job or less, so you're not losing any money, really.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't very much.
So what's going on?
I didn't go looking for those.
Don't look for those, but you definitely want to start looking for streamline inspection abilities.
Yeah. I like these conference calls. I learn a lot of stuff, but I got so much stuff written down here now, it'll take me another 2 hours tomorrow to figure it all out and go to the website and download this and download that. And by golly, that looks good, and I think I'll buy one of those copters, and you guys are killing me.
Well, if nothing else, you can't say you don't get good content on these calls, right?
That's absolutely correct. We get a lot of good content.
Excellent.
Yeah, I haven't done my first one yet. I'm not advertising yet. I'm still.
No, we're waiting for you to get the software. Right. You're going to get the software, and you're going to get rolling. Absolutely. In fact, one of the things we're definitely going to be doing in Tampa, guys, I'm going to be there for more than just the one-day event, obviously, and so probably the full whole one day will be the Day Discovery 2.0, and then we might have a second day, maybe like a half day or the day before. We will probably have a Genesis training day, a Genesis software training in December, a really advanced training of it. So we're going to get it out to you now, but I'm saying we're going to really be doing a hard court press at the upcoming events. And someone, Tom Kruger, asked the question, will I be at NAHI in Pittsburgh? Yes, I'm planning to be at NAHI in Pittsburgh in November. I'm also planning to be at Inspection Conference in Las Vegas in October. And we may be at Georgia ASHI in Lawrenceville in September. Way to go, Jacques. And we are obviously going to be at ASHI 2015 because guess where that is?
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Close to home.
Yeah, like right down the street, kind of. So, and I heard a lot of people saying they're not coming. I heard a lot of ASHI members that I know say, well, I'm not coming to Philadelphia in the winter. I saw your last winter, and I'm not coming from my warm climate to Philadelphia for an ASHI conference. I'm like, oh, I can understand that. You know, I get it. So, but I can't not come because I don't have to pay airfare. I don't have to pay hotel. Yeah, so this is like a no-brainer for me. So
it'll be fun, one way or the other. But,
definitely.
The only thing I'm worried about is getting stuck at the airport for 3 or 4 days.
Stop it! You can stay at my house.
Oh yeah.
I could put everybody up. You could sleep with the dogs, okay?
I bring my wife to those conferences, and she said, I don't know whether I want to go to that one or not.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are saying, you know what? I'll be honest. I don't want to come to Philadelphia in January. Why would they bring a whole... Take me someplace warm. I loved it in Nashville this past January. It was amazing. Nashville was fantastic. The weather was warm. The jazz was hot. Don't come to Philly. Come anyway, but don't. That's why we're having our event in September. September in Philadelphia is gorgeous. The hot weather is over. Kids are back at school. The crowds are slower. The prices are lower. If you want to take a little weekend trip to the beach after the conference, you will have the prices will be so much easier, and the beach is only 2 hours away from where we're going to be having our conference. So yeah, so definitely plan to come in September. Okay, Rick.
All right, one last thing, and that
Yes,
is to
sure.
another thing I like about these conference calls is everybody has such a great positive attitude. Everybody seems like they're really trying to help people and get things done, and that's great.
You know, we have a wonderful group of people. I feel we're blessed with, and I actually reflect off of the love and the excitement and the camaraderie that you guys give. So I can't thank you all enough for that. So I don't know. I know you guys thank me from time to time, but I can't thank you. You guys inspire me. And do you know that last Thursday was the first webinar I have ever missed in 3 years of doing them 3 weeks a year, three weeks a month. That was the first one that I actually had to cancel the day of. Now, we've rescheduled them because I'm out of town, etc., in advance. But that was the very first one we actually had to cancel the day of due to a personal challenge. And I was so upset about doing it, but I knew I wouldn't have been able to be any use to you guys, and I don't want to waste your time with that. But that was the first one I'd ever missed, and I don't know how many. I mean, let's do the math. I've been doing these for 3 years times 12 months times 3 a month. So that was my first one that I'd missed in 108 webinars. That's not bad. You still there, Rick? Oh, Ricky was so impressed with that he fell off. So let's see. Let's go next to Tom Mitchell. Hi, Tom.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good. Busy, busy, busy. Home inspections haven't stopped, and that's a good thing. We've had a good year. As far as where I'm at for 203K, obviously we're still waiting on the program.
Yep.
I know we talked about doing some beta testing.
Yes.
And I probably should schedule a conference call with you.
Yes, please do that. Yes.
And yeah, like I say, it's just been a busy year, and that's where we're at.
Okay, well, listen, I know that you are talking it up and just letting people know that you're on your way to getting it, and that that you could do, even though you're not at this point available to do full Ks, using this CRI report you see on the screen, you can be doing streamlined final inspections right now. Okay. And as you see, you can backdoor yourself right into a huge volume of 203K business, taking over, doing compliance inspections and other things like this.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Tom. Hey,
right,
will we possibly see you in Tampa in December?
Probably not Tampa unless my wife gets involved. She likes to go. We actually have a place in Tampa, but yeah, you never know.
Have to call. I'll call her. I'll get her in the phone. I'll talk to her personally.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
And
last but not least, Tim Gerds. Tim, I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not letting me. Tim? I wonder why I cannot unmute him. Let's see. I don't know. Tom Kruger had to leave. He's the one who asked me if we were going to be at NAHI in Pittsburgh, so he got that information, and then he had to roll off. So I'm not sure why I can't get Timothy to unmute. That's weird. But I'm just going to say, Timothy, if there's anything you want to add over the next few seconds, type it into the box. And last but not least, everybody, please do me a favor, friend us on Facebook. We're going to be posting a lot of things on Facebook. We're going to be sharing a lot of information on the 203K in a Box Facebook page. And actually, we're going to be starting to migrate things over to NAFAC. And so soon, 203K will still be around, but it's going to be really absorbed by NAFAC. So let me know if there's any information you like. I'm glad you all like the logo. I'm excited about it. Let me know if you'd like the link to that graphic designer. If there's any graphic work you'd like to have done for your company, we'll be happy to give you the referral to that person on Fiverr. So that being said, I want to thank everyone for being on the call this evening. It's 10:32 p.m. I've been on the phone for an hour and a half, which is our usual runtime. This is Catherine Hall, your 203K Queen, saying, until I'm able to support you again in the future, I thank you for being so outstanding. Good night, everyone.